So my friends, are you ready to hear something that might fill you with a bit of existential dread? The PS5 and Xbox Series X have been around for nearly half a decade now. Yeah, now the horrifying tide of time moving past us all aside, this is a pretty amazing thing as within that time, these consoles have had the chance to push their processing powers to the limit and produce some truly gorgeous looking games. And that's what we're here to talk about today. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are the 10 best looking video games of the generation so far. Number 10, Baldur's Gate 3. Now most video games want to offer you the world but unfortunately can't. And then there's Baldur's Gate 3, a game that genuinely gives you everything including weeks worth of content, a vast world, a breathtaking story and gorgeous graphics all in one. I mean seriously, Larian Studios must have cheated to make this game because it is just unreal. But one thing to specifically hone in on is the clothing and armor assets. Every piece from rundown rags to chainmail shirts is brought to life in exceptional detail. Whether you're toying around with Gale's robes, admiring Aylin's scale mail, or making your bard double as colourful as possible, you're given pure graphical artwork. Oh, and let's not even get started on Ketheric Thorm's armour. Compliments to the chef who cooked that stunning meal. But it doesn't stop there, as every visual detail in the game is mind-blowing. Anytime that you're pulled into a cutscene, you'll see every blemish on the character models, every emotion on their faces, and every detail of the environment. The only reason it sits at number 10 on this list is because of the top-down gameplay, which actually keeps you quite far from the details whenever you're playing. Number 9, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2. Warhammer 40k, the grim dark future. Fans of this colossal IP would love to see as many video games, movies and shows in this setting as possible. Hell yeah, brother. But the problem is that capturing the vibe, detail and sheer scale of this fictional universe is damn near impossible without mind-numbing work hours and an Imperium-sized budget. That said, it can be done as proven by the stunning Space Marine 2. This long-awaited sequel gets so much right when it comes to its visuals. To start, while character models in 40k games tend to be a little scaled down compared to Games Workshop's regular artwork, Saber Interactive did not skimp on any of the details. This can be seen in the Imperium iconography plastered across the Space Marine armor, the intricate tech features on the Adeptus Mechanicus, and each individual Tyranid inside massive swarms. The environments are also spectacular. Whether hulking around the Resilient or gazing at large cathedrals in the distance, you'll see crisp detailing to the max. To talk bad about these graphics, well, that would be pure heresy. Number 8, Black Myth Wukong. Do you want to talk about pressure in video game making? Well, imagine trying to bring to life an iconic 16th century tale that is a pillar of Chinese literature, regarded as one of the best stories ever told, and the inspiration behind the game-changing anime Dragon Ball. No pressure, right? Well, somehow Game Science pulled it off, and boy howdy did they make it pretty. Each frame of this ambitious-looking game looks like a gorgeous painting, with the visual fidelity making things even more photorealistic. This is especially impressive given the over-the-top fantastical nature of the story and the setting. There's also no contrast between scale, as everything from huge temple structures to minor cloth animation is impeccable. A special shout out to the sleeves of many characters, which are so perfectly creased and worn, they're just beautiful. A lot of painstaking work went into making this game look good, including physically scanning real-life temples and architecture across China to be used in the game. Not only did this lead to great-looking environments, but an authenticity that is rare in adaptation. This is how you capture the prestige of Journey to the West. Number 7, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Indiana Jones has been through a lot in the last few decades, and none of it has been good. Because we all remember that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny did their best to put an end to the iconic archaeologist's coolness, and they would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for the sudden appearance of the top-tier Indiana Jones video game, The Great Circle. The game's graphics are exceptional on two main fronts, so let's start with number 1, the character models. Bringing Indy to life was never going to be easy, but Troy Baker's vocal performance, paired with the spectacular model work, really knocked it out of the park. This simply is young Harrison Ford, and he's not the only well-built character here, with Emmerich Voss, Gina Lombardi, and many more all looking incredibly detailed and well-animated. And then there's the environments. Oh my god, the environments. The intense attention to detail and stellar lighting choices make every space, out in the open or deep underground, feel dynamic and alive. A particular highlight is Vatican City, which looks and feels so real, it's kind of like you're taking a vacation there. Number 6, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, some of you might be surprised to see this game here, given the shocking state in which it was released. Hell, the graphics barely even loaded in when it hit shelves, let alone look good. The thing is, while any other game would be entirely excluded from this list based on that first impression, Cyberpunk 2077, in its current state, looks so damn impressive that it definitely earns a spot. Despite everything, CD Projekt Red made one hell of a beautiful looking game. Night City is a vibrant location with graphics that make you feel like you're stepping right into it. Every inch of this city is draped with delicious cyberpunk visuals, including robotic enhancements, catchy advertisements, intricate NPCs, and much more. There's so much to soak in, like the aggressive green glow of the afterlife, the shiny polish of Corpo Plaza, or the shady neon lights of Jig Jig Street. Everything comes to life impeccably in the game's current state, thanks to the lighting, weather effects, art design, and intense detail in every character, environment, and vehicle. It is a visual redemption story for the ages. Number 5, Dead Space 2023. A game like Dead Space lives and dies on the believability of its setting. What good is a tense, claustrophobic, spaceship-based nightmare if you can't get fully immersed into the environment? Well, the devs clearly understood this and as such went above and beyond to make the 2023 remake as believable as possible, and they did this by boosting the graphics up to 100. Motive Studios' remake brings the USG Ishimura to life with precise detail and a stellar atmosphere, with one of its biggest tricks being dynamic lighting. The game's lighting effects are awe-inspiring, with long cast shadows, peering light sources, flickering effects, and more, giving the game a definitive sense of realism. Making the ship feel like a real place only makes it all the scarier when you're trapped in a room with a necromorph. It's not just the lighting that slaps though, as the models and textures are also top-notch. Staring at the back of Isaac's suit will leave you constantly wondering how they could squeeze so many details in. If you're going to remake a classic, why not overhaul the visuals as much as possible? And that is exactly what happened here. Number 4, Demon's Souls. Now, when making a video game that will launch alongside a brand spanking new console, you want to make sure that you're pushing the technology to the max. Otherwise, why should anyone bother buying the new machine? And how well did Demon's Souls remake for the PS5 pull this off? Well, Blue Point Games knocked it so far out of the park that the ball is probably still flying to this day. This remake enhances the original PS3 title in many, many ways, providing a multitude of quality of life improvements. But the massive graphical update is the easiest to notice, as this game is rendered in glorious fashion. You could stop and take a screenshot at nearly any point of the game and come out with a gorgeous photo, or a terrifyingly creepy looking enemy, or just an image that captures the game's atmosphere perfectly. Demon's Souls is a textbook example of a next-gen game, as it proved just how powerful the PS5 was. It's so breathtaking that you'll often get distracted whilst playing it and end up staring at the backgrounds, well, until you're inevitably mobbed by enemies who will catch you with your trousers down, but still, beautiful until that point. Number 3, Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 is a game that didn't need to go as hard as it did, but you just cannot keep Remedy down. Their unexpected follow-up to their 2010 action-adventure game crafted one of the survival horror genre's most compelling titles, not to mention one of its best looking. Every inch of this game is dripping with graphical fidelity. The character models are so close to real life that you could stare at them for hours without realizing that they're rendered. The spaces are so detailed you feel like you're in them, and the lighting, whether it's morning rays hitting you in bright falls or the neon glows of signs in the dark place, it is impeccable. The game is so confident in its photorealism that it isn't even afraid to feature live action stars. Now, in any other game, seeing real people would constantly take you out of the experience and make the animated sections seem weak by comparison, but Remedy knew what they were doing here, as the game's graphics are so amazing that they can jump between rendered cutscenes, live action, and gameplay without it being jarring. Now that is impressive. Number 2, Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Forbidden West is a next-level gorgeous game. The fact that the open world is so huge but full of detail is mind-boggling, yet Guerrilla Games handled it to perfection. To start, Aloy herself looks fantastic. Her facial expressions and design are close to lifelike, letting you believe that she's actually there. It would also be remiss not to mention the delightfully cool tech-based enemies, the machines. These mechanical beasties are loaded to the brim with visual intricacies that leave you finding new bits and pieces every time you look at them. Some glory also also needs to be thrown at the unbelievable weather dynamics. There's nothing like walking through a photorealistic environment, watching as the grass and leaves are blown so convincingly by the wind that you could almost feel it on your face. And then there's the water, which is so visually and physically believable that it wouldn't be hyperbole to call it one of the best water simulations in gaming. Overall, this game feels real and alive thanks to its flawless graphics. But there is one game that could actually top it, and that is Senua's Saga Hellblade II. Hellblade 2 unfortunately does a lot of things wrong. It's way too short, the combat gets repetitive quickly, and the pacing can be dire. That said, the game is such a feast for the eyes that it'll make you feel like a medieval English king at a banquet. Senua's Saga truly sets the tone for how far the industry has come in regards to cinematics. The weather effects, character models, lighting, and animation all come together to paint a spectacular attempt at capturing reality. There are legitimate times where the game looks so photorealistic you will think it's live action. Of course, the crowning achievement is Senua herself. It's no wonder that Melina Juergens swept up Best Actor award wins like nobody's business, given how unbelievably well captured she is. The details of her performance can be seen across her face, even deep within her eyes, which look vibrant and full of life. This is something that few games can even come close to replicating, and Hellblade 2, well, it does it with ease. The sequel may have been a bit of a letdown for many, but it set a new benchmark for video game graphics, so in that respect, Ninja Theory definitely deserves their flowers.